when.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
man.
there we go. Anyway, this is the Red Writ people.
The Red Writ.
The Dreadies are playing the Red Writ. I'm starting off this good because I was totally the Red Writ. Doing this cast by Bill Bunkum, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Daniel Holker, Ken Howl, and Drizzle, as well as thanks for the music from all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt. And our Patreons are Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker, Nostalgic Natalia Cline. Find us on Patreon, patreon.com/DreadLore, so we can do more of this stuff. Couchfire Media brings production, even though OBS can eat my shiny little ass. And Trois Replay Productions, they've been here, apparently. We still talk about them since 2023.
They'll never go away.
2018 or something.
They'll never go away.
It never, ever, ever.
Until 2023.
This is the Red Writ. Daniel Holker. Who's our sponsor tonight?
Mr. Ken, thank you so much for passing it to me. Our sponsor tonight is the Israeli Empire.
Whoa.
The Israeli Empire is the vivacious and exotic home of the great houses and delvers into witchcraft. Old hands know there was a time before the great houses took control of the South. Long ago, it was called the Ten. All political power within the Tens owned and operated by the houses of Israelia, of which these are the greatest. Howl, Weiss, Osiepo, Edibo, and a fifth house also exists, Kotek. I'm a random person on the internet, and I approve the contents of this message.
Thank you, Azraelian Empire. You guys don't know about the Azraelian Empire?
No.
Get with it.
What's the main?
Get with it. You've gone through the door. Okay, so if you guys want to know where that deep lore is, you got to find the DreadLore book.
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Hey.
Is there an audiobook version? No.
Actually, I've been thinking about doing an. I've been thinking about doing an audiobook version. It would be an endeavor. But actually, I do have videos. Anyway, Andrea, getting me off topic and shilling. Hey, everybody. So we're playing DreadLore's The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
We've been playing this game since God created the heavens and the earth.
The Red
We
Writ.
predate time itself.
So saith the Lord.
So saith the Lord. It has been a long time. But you know, that's cool. Last we left our group of intrepid 1982 Detroit investigators. They had gotten to Grosse Pointe, which is a literal place in Detroit. We have a map. And if you guys want to see it, we'll pull it up here in a little while. Grosse Pointe is the richer place in Detroit. And all the power's gone out in all of Detroit for some sort of apocalyptic summoning. Think the end of Ghostbusters, the first movie. And except the power has not gone out in Grosse Pointe. Our group of PIs has found their way into the mysticism and the occult and this unseemly plot to summon, they think, something from beyond the veil, from the in-between, from other realms. They're not really quite sure, but they know it's bad. They've gone to Grosse Pointe in two groups. What's the first group? Identify yourself.
Tony and Leah.
Yeah, Tony and Leah. Tony and Leah, you jumped into an Oldsmobile, which you guys had acquired, and drove it into the Butte's house with a dastardly plan to, I don't know, halo into the house and infiltrate.
Yeah.
It went bad. You jumped out. You did not blow up with the explosion. Meanwhile, Simon and Mariah, what did you guys do?
We are booking it up the bald hill to where the ritual is going on.
That's right. Mariah being the NPC who's been hanging out with you, Leah's daughter. A precocious, maybe 13-year-old. Nobody really knows. Meanwhile, Nord in his van with whom?
Rebecca went all rage insane and took off. So I guess Nord is no longer with Rebecca, but John and Nord were hanging out. John is our
Detective John.
Detective John. He is affectionately known as the Blue Hand Group man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a mystic of the 12 and 7. As you know, he's a theragist, which means an alchemist, a person who uses not magicka per se, but odd technologies from beyond. He's a kind of weird protector of this realm. Also called a SIG.
Definitely a SIG.
Now, if you guys have seen, there is a Matt Damon movie. I cannot remember the name of it, but he wears hats, these detective hats, and they can go through doors. You guys know what I'm talking about? Check it out. It's good movie.
I think they're talking about.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what the SIGs are based off of. Regardless, he's with you. As Nord, you've crashed the van through the forest, and it seems like it's still drivable, although that there's at least one tire burst. As you guys have moved up to the Bald Hill Cemetery, it's called Bald Hill Cemetery because despite all the evergreens in this area, there's very, very few at the top of this, kind of like the hair atop my head. So as you get up to the top, I don't know if Nord noticed Simon and Mariah. Why don't we roll a d6, Nord, and we'll say high or low on it.
Okay, I rolled.
Okay. Simon, say high or low.
Hi.
That is high.
Okay. Nord, you and Simon were able to exchange a glance of some sort. Perhaps it was a wink. Who knows? That's between you guys. But the point is you both saw each other. As Nord, you sally forth onto the precipice. The occultists, 20 some odd of them, all in a circle chanting the chant that they always chant. Can anyone remember what it is?
Erish Kagel.
Malhalava
Revlo.
That's right. If anybody translates that, you really get cool stuff.
We already did that, didn't we?
You roll up and but you got to know it. You rolled up, still having your goat skins on, and make a huge proclamation that you have heard from Erish Kagel, and you are now the leader. Of course, Nord, not entirely knowing who Erish Kagel is, they open up and carry you in. You with your dark wood staff, which is somehow magical. Detective John stands back. He's hiding behind one of the many statues, one of the many mausoleums. Meanwhile, Simon, you and Mariah tries to go and help her mother. She sees her down the hill where the Butte's enormous backyard is. It's gated and such and heavily canopied. She notices Leah go slip in between the gate, and she wants to help. You basically tell her not to, that Leah's getting into trouble, and so she's sticking with you, and you see all of this. Leah, we have no idea what happens to you as you went into the chateau. Tony, where are you?
I think I just got out of the
Does anyone know where Tony is?
He had fallen.
I'm with Simon.
Oh, you are with them.
He had fallen.
Yeah, and we're getting in position to fire.
Indeed, you guys are there. So this is the montage. We will have a world action before anything. I'm going to give you guys a few moments as I craft a cocktail to decide as players your next steps, your situation, what you guys are thinking, quasi in-game, out-of-game, meaning talk about what your player or what your character is doing, why, just so the players kind of are on the same base. Obviously, your characters don't quite know. And that way you guys can kind of link up as players, okay? So we'll start. Who wants to start this? We'll go with Nord first.
Nord is trying to become a cult leader. He is he's gone deep in the paint and surrounded himself with cultists, one way or the other. I mean, my primary thought is to stop, the chanting in one direction. So, like, I don't know if your characters would know this, but my intent is to change the chant into something else and try and convince the cult members to do something else. They can chant, so it's sort of, I didn't tell anybody this. It was kind of a fly by night, but they did see Nord get pulled in to the middle of where the cultists are. Simon?
Right now, Simon's of two minds, because he knows you have some sort of plan, so he's half tempted to wait and see if you scream before he starts firing. But the other option is to just go ahead and start firing. So Simon's he's watching. He knows where John is. He knows where Tony is, and we've got a good enough coverage that when we need to start firing, we can hit at different angles. But he may wait just a few beats to see if you start screaming or not. If you start screaming, he's going in.
Leah is not of two minds. She is of one mind, and she is thinking, okay, nope, it's time. I've waited long enough. This girl's going down. I'm going to put her in the dirt, and she's going to stay there.
Tony?
And I sit patiently, waiting, watching, thinking, ready for action, ready to banish dead air when it rears its ugly head. Ready. Money's money.
I haven't finished this cocktail, so continue. What's Tony on this in player world? You guys don't have to work together as characters, but you do as players.
Yes, Tony is in position, patiently observing the ritual as it unfolds.
What does Tony think about the cultists? Is he like kind of rooting for them a little bit, or is he against them, or because he's a local, he knows. I mean, this might be too much information, but he knows these people.
Tony is a local, and he recognizes some of the cultists, probably from back in the day. He's probably had some encounters with them. None of them have shown up that he really knows very well. But at this point, he's seen so much that he figures they're all damned anyway. So screw it, take him out.
Tony's standing there stoic, like a statue made out of clay.
A golem.
He might
of
be made
sorts.
out of clay at this point. Who knows? I mean, he's not exactly like alive.
Tony is a golem.
Yeah.
Why does Leah hate Lord of Levine so much?
Well, I mean, because she's killed people, but also because she threatened to kill Mariah, back a while ago. She she threatened to sacrifice her, and Leah Leah took that personally.
And why does Simon care about Mariah so much?
Oh, because Simon's a protector. He doesn't want any. He tried to protect Rebecca. He tried to protect the girl who. What was the girl's name? Who?
You can't even remember her
Gabby?
name?
No. Yeah,
Not-
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby.
Gabriella
Gabriella.
DuPont.
And he did technically save her soul.
Yeah, you did.
So that he at least has that.
You're so.
But yeah, because Simon is a protector.
Saved her soul, but not her life.
She was gone before we got to her.
That's
But
true. But maybe she could save our lives. That's what I'm thinking. It's funny you said Gabby because Nord is thinking about Gabby in this moment, and that is actually has a lot to do with his plan.
I think Gabby's soul has passed on.
Yeah, but it's not about that. But she was inspiration for what he's about to do.
So that's a good player talk. I like that. So everybody gets a pip.
Ooh.
I like that. We want to be immersive and everything, but we also want to be on the same page as players. That way everyone has the expectation of, hey, why is that character doing something that's against what I want to do or doing something against what the player group wants to do? It allows us to keep player life and character life separate. So the more you know. Holker, thank you for the goals. Excellent. World action. I'm going to do this in a little bit of scenes, little s scenes. Speaking of, when's the last scene you guys got?
Oh, it was like last week.
Last game? Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think you called it a new scene when we got. I think you called it a new scene when we got to Grimwald's books.
Oh, okay. Little s scenes. Leah, as you move through the brush, these pine trees, nettles poking at your skin and clinging to, they're completely iced over, clinging to your clothes. You see out before you, 30, 40 feet, this tall statue. You've seen it before. It's holding the shallow but very wide bowl. Ominous looking. There's a couple people standing in front of it. One of them you can identify as Loretta Levon. She looks like she's in a wedding dress. This is the kind of, I don't think I described this. Maybe I did, but that's what it is now.
A little.
It looks like a wedding dress. Think of Beetlejuice, the wedding dress that Winona Ryder's wearing. Black and gothic, red filigree and such. Basically the 80s, right? Lots of mascara. She looks good. Anyway, she's talking to a crimson-robed acolyte of sorts. When I say crimson, this is the color of dried blood. So it's very, very dark, but you can still tell that it's red. These are the same robes that the people on Bald Hill Cemetery were wearing, by the way, as described. As you see them talking, Loretta has a very placid look on her face. Perhaps one that Leah can identify. We'll see when we hit the dread. But it's something that she's seen before. As Loretta and this acolyte exchange words, you note the statue's head turn towards you.
Good.
Up on Bald Hill, on the ridge. Not the tip. Simon, you and Mariah and Tony are sitting there on your bellies like in a World War II movie, watching Nord get carried in, wondering perhaps what the hell he's doing. But Nord is this way. He always has a plan. You guys had shared a glance. You know that there is something cooking. And you have that hesitation. The acolytes start to close. Their circle starts to close. They're not completely closed. You peer in between them, and this is something that Nord will see, of course, here in a second. Or Nord sees it. I'm just going to describe it here in a second. There's a light. Perhaps it's a bonfire, but it seems brighter. For our eyes, our modern eyes, it seems almost like an LED. Right? It's perhaps a vase or a ball or a statue or something that's just glowing brilliantly. It's not particularly fire-like, and it's in the center of them. There's 20 of them, so it's a pretty wide diameter of a circle. You can tell, Simon, something is illuminating the ground as well, as you can see just the light playing on the bottoms of their faces, making them all look rather nefarious. You hear a howl from the forest nearby. This is the kind of howl, I know what a howl sounds like, but I wanted to do it. Everybody howl. You hear that, and then you hear the as you hear the calling howls from the forest there, in Canada, because that's where they have forests. This sounds very close. Is the kind of howl of a wild animal that makes the back of your neck, the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. There is a predator nearby. Mariah, you feel her hug onto you really quick as this happens. Storm still brewing. As Simon, perhaps just because you're so aware, you note the clouds as they've been spinning just in this torrent above you seem to suddenly almost come to a stop. As though the heavens are looking down on what is happening. Nord, as you're being carried in, like I forget what it's called, like a Jewish wedding where they have like them on the chairs. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? The boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, da, 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 da. Whatever.
Yeah, I just don't know the term.
There's a term for it. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I've seen it recently at a few of these events.
Nice.
Regardless, they bring you in. You see this structure. Again, it's so bright. It's this brilliant yellowish white light. Difficult to see. You note the many circles of runes, ornate, carved into the ground. So in places of dirt, they've been literally carved and then filled with sand, where there's those headstones that lie flat. I don't know what those are called, like placement stones or whatever. They've been carved into, and it looks like wax has been poured into them. This has been prepared, this circle, this massive circle. It's good, we'll say 20 people around, say 10, 15 foot diameter. And in the center of this lamp, we'll call it. You happen to notice, Nord, that the clouds are circling around this point. A strange heat is emanating from the ground. There's no snow here. And there's the feeling of course, all eyes watching. But as you look around, Nord, in the fervor, you're holding your staff, you've got the goat head on, the skin and everything. The general feeling of these cultists who they all look like Patrick Bateman in his analog. They're like these Sigma people, Wall Street people, okay? They have this elation, like they're drunk on their faces. They're kind of puffy. Nord, they are not sober. They're on something. They're not quite firing on all engines or pistons or whatever the fuck. Okay. Beyond that, Nord, as you see the lamp and whatnot, you then notice past that the bodies and blood. And you see some of at the back of the circle, or opposite you, some of the cultists open up, make room, and they throw the body down the hill. If you guys have seen Apocalypto, it's very similar to that, as the body whoop, 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 falls down the hill. The blood is drinking into the ground. So,
fun.
There's world actions.
Can I spin cunning? Or do I need to spin cunning?
Well, that's the world action, so you can absolutely spend cunning if you wish.
Or is it player turn?
No. World's at the top, then it's antagonists. One of the things mechanically that you can do is you can wait to know what the antagonists are going to do, and then you either act on at them or not. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go right into the dread and spin cunning. And I'm going to start, because I was professing when we left off.
Let's get into that.
Okay.
Go ahead, profess.
Growing up in Sweden in the early mid 30s and 40s, that was a long time ago, folks. Nazi influenced Sweden. And then the hippies of the Northwest of the United States of America. I immersed myself in traveling to India and Iraq and Egypt and around the world. I have found the answer, the true answer to eternal life, and I'm going to give it to you right now. And I'm going to bid greater break to raise my focus to luminous.
Okay. Let's do something really fast.
Okay.
Call high or low. It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense for this. And who wants to roll it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can roll.
Okay. Call high or low?
Low.
Low?
Yeah.
Here are the stakes. If you're correct, then none of them are Nazis.
I didn't say they were bad. I said
I know.
growing. Right. I'm sure some of them are probably Nazis.
You do get a narrative point, by the way, because I had not put together that it's completely possible in 1982 for there to just be Nazis here.
Oh, nice.
Totally didn't think about that.
I'm going to spend that narrative point saying that some of them are probably Nazis.
Well, then we don't need to roll. But what was the roll?
Okay. It is low.
As you look, you see some of them, as you say, talk about Nazis. They do the Heil Hitler. As Nord, since you spent the narrative point, you can tailor what you say to flow with them. So what do you say as you see that some of them actually are Nazis?
As you know, leadership is profound, and to be a leader, you must act as a leader. And Lady Callie has failed you, but we know that we deserve everything. And so I bid greater break to.
I love it, Luminous. So bringing your soul level up one. What does that do, Nord?
Well, it's amazing. It gives me one extra success to what I'm doing. It basically takes my focus, which is currently burning to a higher level place. So basically, I start kind of glowing and sparkling. It's maybe not unlike the vampires in Twilight, where.
Curse you.
I mean, I couldn't think of anything, but I'm embodying otherworldliness and something maybe more connected to another world. It also has some negatives, which is
it's the idea
tragic.
of Moses coming down from the mount,
right?
Having seen God. Like, it's almost like Nord's face is glowing. Like, people around they just start looking at you, and this is more than Tony Robbins, right? This is like, you're bigger. Actually, Tony Robbins is a big guy. You're just bigger. Your presence grows. There's a few things that will happen as you do this. Tony, you see Nord glowing like an angel. You see light rays literally coming out from behind the bodies that are obscuring your actual vision. You can, in a way, see him. Imagine looking at like infrared, but different colors, right? You're aware that he's literally blocked by human bodies, but you can somehow actually see him. And as you see him, his luminescence casts shadows. And you see in the trees and such, here and there, not too many, beasts that you can't quite identify. One of them being a person who follows you around that I have messaged you about.
His
Another.
niece?
Huh?
His niece?
Different game. Another, although yes, that would work.
Mhm.
Another is someone next to Simon. You see a shade. It's hard to make out. You would have to bid to actually do it. But there's someone following Simon. There's also someone off a little bit, stone's throw away, following you, which you know about that person. All right. Nord, as you spent cunning and you say those things, and you've bid. What are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm trying to get these people to be mesmerized by me, to follow me.
For a moment, they are absolutely they kind of like stop. They're holding you up, and the sort of ritual pauses for a moment. Whatever they were going to do, you don't know.
Sure.
You can assume.
Yeah.
But
well, I know they just murdered somebody.
Rapture instinct to you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I didn't hear what you said.
That's fine. That was it. Oh, they are paused. They're listening to you.
Right. And if I continue, I'm going to. Can I bid a second ability?
Nope.
Okay.
You can only do one thing.
Okay.
One meaningful action, you can bid a whole bunch of stuff to do that action, and then minor things.
I'm gonna start saying in Esperante, Estu la vermo, focus circulon, potect nen, forguso nen, firmu gen, La profundo devastorme.
Wow. I think you get a narrative point for that.
Your vowels need work.
Oh, sorry. I do
Also, stress is always on the penultimate symbol of every word.
You just got to sweep the leg, man. Come on. Holker, you get a pip. I love it. Holker, do you know what he said? I got
No, because he was slaughtering a lot of the consonants as well.
Let's say it again. Estu la vermo. Fosu circlon protectu
Circlon.
nen forgesu nen fermu gen la profundo devas dormi.
So go ahead and Holger, you go first.
Something about you will protect them. You will forget how to write, or you will forget to sleep, and some other stuff.
What I heard was close the circle because it's not doing what it should be doing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So you want them to stop the ritual.
No, I'm saying be the worm, dig a circle, protect us, forget us, close it. The deep must sleep.
The deep must sleep.
Ooh.
Okay. So the goal here is to make them stop doing the ritual or something else.
The goal is to start, and this is where Gabby comes into mind, because I'm thinking of Gabby and I'm using my staff to start carving the protective runes. And I'm going to...
Yeah, but what are you trying to accomplish with what you're saying?
I'm going to try and get them to say what I'm saying. So I'm starting a chant.
You're just trying You're trying to assimilate their chant. Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to do that to what end?
The idea is to get them to start chanting with me and then drawing these other runes.
Yeah. Why?
Because I want to shut the circle. I want to disrupt the...
Okay, you're trying to stop the seance. Okay, cool. Awesome.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to do the runes that Gabby did that protected her from these things. So if you get them to do it as well, it'll disrupt it, right, Karen?
I see.
But it also gives all the people there protection from whatever's coming.
Okay, we'll deal with that as you have gotten their attention. They are not sacrificing you.
Yeah.
So that's what you gained. Getting to the next step, that'll be on the player turn or something thereafter. Okay.
Absolutely.
The rest of you, is anyone else spinning cunning?
I am.
Or are you waiting to know what the bad guys are doing first?
I'm going to spend cunning.
Me too.
Okay. It's up to you guys who goes first. And Simon, are you doing it or what?
I'm waiting.
Do you want to go first, Tony, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I will bid Wanderer to attempt to find out who that strange being is near Nord. As Tony, given his new state, is now has the wandering spirit.
Yeah, that is more truthful than you know. How do you go about this? What does Simon do?
Me.
He means Simon.
Okay.
Right?
Huh?
You're talking about Simon, not Nord, right?
You said there was a strange person near Nord that I could bid to find out.
Sorry, not Nord. I meant Simon. That was my bad.
Oh.
So do you still do it or not?
Oh yeah, I'll still do it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Simon. It's about you. Okay. How do you do this?
I look at him intently, and by process of elimination, realize that number one, he's not supposed to be there. And number two, he's really not supposed to be there.
What is Simon? Tell Simon what you do, and Simon, how do you react?
I put my hands together as if I'm about to pray. And then I ask Onus. I start saying something that sounds vaguely Latin, and then something Onus, something else. Yeah, S Morti or yeah.
I look over. I'm like,
Simon, as you see Tony praying at you, talking to somebody nearby, you hear the words onus. You know, there's a little bit of Latin that you understand. You're an educated dude. And you hear that name. And it's one of those situations where someone is staring right over your shoulder at like the big spider. Right? It's that innate human nature that we have of what the hell is over my shoulder?
it's right behind me.
He's right behind me, isn't he? You know he's talking about something that is right next to you. What are you doing?
I will slowly start to look that way. I already have the blunderbuss drawn. Blunderbuss. It's in my. I'm gonna switch it to my left hand.
Yep.
Because I know I don't have to aim as well with that one.
Clever girl.
Pull out my gun with my right hand.
Uh-huh.
And so now I'm double fisting as I slowly look to where he's looking.
So to determine this, one, Simon, are you spending cunning or are you just sort of reacting? It's up to you. If you drop cunning, it means you have the initiative and it means that you were taking an action. Otherwise, you're simply positioning yourself for the player turn.
Right now, I'm just looking.
Okay. Tony, as you call out, what'd you bid?
I bid Wanderer.
Wanderer. You see Onus step out from behind one of the tree trunks. You know, stone's throw away. She's always within earshot of you. You know that now with this bid. She's watching you. She cares about you. You can tell it as she's looking at you. But is the care, what kind of care is it? You're not sure. As she says, which you can tell, the sound is something that only you can hear, and somehow you can tell that. It comes in like waves through the realms. She's not in this realm. She says, "That is a specter. Do you wish to see it and bring it to light? It is of no harm. Yet."
I say, yes, bring it to light.
As you wish. You see like the smile play on her lips as she raises her hand. She's got her staff. It lightens. Tony, you can feel the sort of warmth in your body as Onus does this. And like the end of Ghost, if you guys have seen the movie Ghost, Simon, you see this light seemingly appear from nowhere, like a bad 80s movie, like SFX. And you see what looks like the Ring Girl at first, standing right next to you. Hair.
Only this time, it's Beta.
Beta. as the shadows clarify, whatever, fade away, you see before you a hollow, dead-looking Gabriella.
I rush over to her.
You do.
I thought I freed you.
Simon, get over here.
As Simon, you kind of say that, although because you haven't taken an action, you sort of mutter it out. Blah, 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 blah.
Get over
Action's
here,
on you,
Simon.
Tony. As Simon, you move over.
Yeah.
Okay. She follows you.
Look, she's dead.
I knew she's dead. I thought that I helped to free her soul, though.
You see her reach up. This is all antagonist turn. Amidst cunning, she reach up and puts her hand towards your chest, towards your heart, Simon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the guilt that I couldn't save her life that I hold on to.
As she rests her ghost hand on your chest, you don't feel anything necessarily unless Simon does. But she's sitting there or standing there looking at you on the side of this hill. You guys have gotten down from the ridge a little bit with all of this.
Perhaps
she follows him, Onus says. She follows him. A mystery.
She follows him.
Her soul is tied to him. If he wishes for it not to be tied, he will have to untie it. I can show him the way. As you see Onus, maybe Tony, you turn. Simon, you see Tony turn. Onus points to a faraway place. He'll have to go there to untie it. Far away.
Where do you point? Where is this place?
There. Not of this realm.
The onus is on me to figure it out.
You get a pip. Far away in a wild, savage land called Canada. I can't resist. I'm putting Leah to sleep. Okay. Action's on you guys. What do you do?
This is...
Say, Simon.
Go ahead, Tony.
We have a lot to talk about, but first we have to disrupt this ritual.
Yes. This is something I'll carry with me, like all the others I haven't been able to save.
Ooh, I love that. Let's make a fate roll. Who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I'll be fortune.
I'm fortune.
Oh, false fortune then.
Damn it.
Ooh.
I'll be false. No.
We'll both be both.
Who's what? Who's
pick.
what?
Oh yeah.
I'll be fortune.
I'll be
Okay.
false.
All right, so here are the stakes. Fortune. There are actually, Tony, as you look down, there are actually not many souls that are dragged along with Simon. False fortune. You're going to see all the souls that are dragged from Simon.
All we have to do is convince them to get on the soul train.
Oh, God. You don't get into the pit for that. You're done. No. No. All right, fine. You get 1 pip. Hate you. Who is Ebenezer Scrooge's partner?
Marley.
Oh, Bob Marley.
You get a Bob Marley. You get a
no, Bob Marley.
Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley. Thank you.
Yeah, but this,
Something.
absolutely.
These
All right,
cheeks
so-
drag me down.
So Simon, you get a narrative point, and Leah, you get a pip because that was funny.
Okay.
Okay. So false fortune is the weight of this. Fortune is you don't have the weight as much. Go ahead and roll.
24.
61.
So
Sounds
who
like-
won?
Fortune.
Fortune won. As Tony, you look and see that there are chains around Simon, as in he carries a weight on his heart. But actually, there's nothing really attached. Maybe just shackles of former ghosts in his closet, or skeletons in his closet. As you realize, Tony, that Simon has done the work. He's done a lot of. He's a pretty pure soul. Yeah, he's messed up a lot, but there's not a lot that's following him around. Gabriella is, and because it's fortune, you realize, Tony, that she's, while not an angel, she's like a guardian of sorts.
Tony is now perplexed as to whether or not it's even worth it to untie their fates. Especially if
Are you
she's a
telling
benevolent
the
presence.
Aether, or are you telling me, or someone else?
These are the thoughts of Tony right this minute.
So, Simon, now that you figured this out, or know that someone's following you, are you having any scene with Tony here? Are you guys talking about it? Are you moving on?
Well, the last thing Tony said to me was we needed to stop the ritual, right?
So moving on.
Well, no, I'm going to. I was just making sure so that way, what was Tony was actually saying versus what the player.
This
was
conversation will occur later, but given the context, we got to stop the ritual.
I'll do this for her because that's the least I could do.
As that hand is still on his heart, you see her smile and look at you, Tony. As a protector would, you can tell that whatever this apparition can do, she would attempt to fuck you up if you messed with Simon. As Simon, what you get from this, you get a bid. So you have a follower or a catch or however you want to name it. A spiritual helper. Something that's tied to you. And it is benevolent.
Okay.
Leah, you drop cunning and a banana. What are you doing?
I sure do. I raise my thurgic crossbow and I point it at Loretta Villavon's center mass. And I bid Mage Killer and pull the trigger.
What kind of ammo you got in that thing?
You said it had like not jars, but like fluid in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't quite go in depth into it, but
Have you shot it before?
I have not. No,
You don't know what it does.
sure don't.
Okay. Roll a d6.
Okay.
And out comes the healing ray.
That's a 2.
Okay. It does not misfire. As you see that, does it have charges or anything that we wrote down?
No, not charges. I think you said it mostly just has a chaos die.
Cool. So basically on a 1, it runs out of ammo. So you see that there are these crystals inlaid in it. We can decide those later in the event that Nord wants to pilfer them for his own devices. At any rate, you see them alight as you shoot. Okay, so normal mechanics, she gets a reaction roll and all those things, and you roll against the threshold and all this good stuff. But we're going to go narrative on this.
Okay.
This is for you. It's also against you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's ambivalent. You shoot. As you see an arrow of energy emit from the front of this crossbow, or a bolt, I should say. As it leaves seconds later, or half seconds later, it becomes a physical object. How does Leah deal with the fact that she just shot a magic weapon? Because if you gave an iPhone to someone from 1790 and they hit, I don't know, an app, they'd probably shit themselves. So what does Leah do? How do you deal with this?
I'll bid a cultist. You know, she's been dealing with with a lot of, you know, magic stuff lately, so she kind of had a feeling that it, you know, since it didn't have any physical ammunition, something weird was going to happen.
Right. Weirdness was approved. As you see it, it kind of gives you a tingly feeling. You hope it's doing something you want as you see the bolt as it slams into Loretta Levon into her center mass. Roll damage.
Okay. Well, we did not establish a damage.
So this is a medium weapon.
Okay.
Because if it's heavy, then you couldn't have gotten through the gate. So it'd be 2d4 plus 1.
Okay. So. So the damage is 8 total.
Eight?
Yes.
As you see her get hit, she stammers back against the statue. You see now the statue, of course it was looking at you, which you had no reaction to, perhaps because of the revenge. You see the statue toss the bowl behind it with Doctor Who style speed.
Oh no.
Moves to you and punches you in the face.
Oh no.
You may make a reaction roll as this is antagonist's turn. As you see Loretta Vaughn though, like falling down as she sits down on her butt. The acolyte's she looks over at you, then looks to tend to Loretta as she's picking her up as you potentially get slammed in the face by the statue. We'll see.
So that's a total of 2 successes.
You get slammed in the face.
Okay.
In the face. You say cool?
That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Ken, roll me a d12. Drizzle, roll me a d12.
That's also good. D12s are good. We like D12s.
You do have ways of mitigating this damage, you know.
I got an 11.
Well,
But not
no, I don't.
What?
I don't.
I got
you-
2.
On my end.
Oh, luck of the draw. All right, so 6 and 2, so that's 8. So plus 4,
No,
so
I got
12.
an 11. I got an 11.
You got an 11?
Yeah.
The 17 plus 4 is 21 damage. As you take 21 to the head.
I mean, like, even if I was at full, there's no way. So, like,
Yep. As
and can I burn a breath?
you're going to have to, as it kills you.
Okay.
It hits you, your head explodes. As it stops, burning breath. Why doesn't that happen?
Oh. Okay. Because I presume that the crossbow probably has some, like, chaos crystals in it. So let's say one of those chaos crystals explodes, taking some of that, like, that potential future and preventing it from happening or something.
I like it.
I'm not sure if that's a thing, but
No, I love it. Get a narrative point as this thing comes up and it does hit you with a sick thud. Mechanically, you go to 0 across the board and you regain. Will someone look that up in the book? It's under burning breath.
Hulker's on
You will
it.
regain that many wounds, and then we'll give you a little bit of plot armor. As Leah, you are slammed through the grate, as part of the grate just opens up, ripping up your clothes and probably the top layer of skin on your arms. As you go back into the forest, hitting one of the tree trunks, like 10 feet up, hitting down on the ground in a crumple.
hey, Will, do you happen to remember what Mantle of the Chosen does?
No. I wrote it.
Okay.
I'd forget it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Burning breath. In addition to the effects of Forgo, a Berk also loses 1 point from their breath pool maximum. Only an act of the gods could recover a burnt point of breath. Gods are fickle at best, and they tend to frown upon followers who prove themselves overly reckless.
Does it say anything else other than a what is it called?
If a Berk takes enough damage to be dead or lost, losing 6 or more wounds or sanity, they might still survive by burning 1 point of their breath pool. They then roll a d4 plus 1 and allocate the resulting number of points between wounds and sanity as they see fit.
So what we're gonna say is it's 2d6 plus 1. That'll be in the errata.
And the mantle of the chosen is, despite what non-believers say, most gods guard their children in times of profound circumstance. The devout may find themselves less affected by scorch of flames, able to withstand the freeze or the breath in the depths of the sea. And it goes on from there.
Would that be helpful here?
Well, it would have been before you let all the damage be known. Yes.
All right, fair enough. Well, I couldn't remember what it did, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Basically, the main idea is you can do a whole lot, but once the description is done, you kind of can't retcon it unless you got a really good reason to. So the idea is you do have to spend your resources to prevent the bad. That's not necessarily written in the book, but it is how I run.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you play the mechanics and not the fiction. Because it's like, I'll just spend a bunch of shit once it's all done and retcon it. But no. If you're going to take it on the chin like a champ, you're going to take it on the chin like a champ. So, it blows up your head, but because you burn breath, instead, turns out Leah has an iron fucking chin. As you spin around like M. Bison in reverse. Anybody get the reference? Slamming into the tree trunk, down onto the pine and nettles and such. Question. Leah, do you hold on to the crossbow?
I do.
All right. How and why?
Well, first I will bid Masad for the how. Like Leah's been trained really well in
Fair.
like weapon retention. As for why, she knows that if while she has other, weapons, she knows the sort of inherent magical nature of this one makes it one of her better tools for this job, so to speak. So she wants to make sure she doesn't lose it.
Awesome. I love the bid. However, we will say that some of the crystals are broken on it because you said that they burst. But I like the description. So roll a d6. We'll see if it's a 1.
It is not. It's a 4.
Okay. So it still does 2d4 plus 1 damage on this thing, as in those crystals were not super necessary for its function, or at least its lethal nature. As you slam down, messed up, roll 2d6 plus 1, and you regain that many wounds.
I did, and I got regained 8.
Okay, cool. You need at least 1 insanity and wounds.
Yes, I put 4 in each.
Cool. Awesome. As that happens, Leah, since it's still antagonist turn, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you wake up, knowing what just happened, but you don't really know how much time has passed. Your chin hurts as you feel in your mouth a grit. Roll a d6.
4.
That's how many teeth are completely shattered.
Cool.
As you spit out whichever teeth you want, molars, perfectly fine for me.
Yeah.
You spit out these teeth and look up, and you see Rebecca Foster looking down at you with her hair coming down, these like weird canines. She looks like an anime character kind of. She's taller and bigger, and she says, "You took a wallop. You all right?"
I'll live. I think.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I thought I was for a minute there too. Did you see that thing? What the...
As she looks up, you see her eyes can see in the dark. You can just tell, like they're like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
I don't even know. I'm not sure. Can we even hurt it?
I can hurt it.
Well, if you're confident,
great.
I'm okay.
I feel
Well, if you're
great. As she
confident
looks
enough-
at you and kind of scarily, I feel great.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that one of us does.
She's like salivating and doesn't realize it, like kind of on you.
Oh no. Leah will sit up, and sort of wipe the drool off of her.
She doesn't seem to
Well-
notice. As you see her kind of look up back, you see that there's like hair on her neck. She's kind of hair on the backs of her hands and such. She's looking up. You can almost see her hulking up, like her muscles like just losing fat, and she's becoming like Hugh Jackman in front of you. She's looking up the hill at Simon and the rest of them, and Tony and Mariah. Where'd Nord go? There's something, an undertone in that.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him.
You know, he fucked around on me.
Oh. Did he?
She turns back with a wish of the hair. You know he did.
I don't keep up with Nord's.
Did he? As she picks you up.
I have no idea. I don't keep up with Nord's bedfellows.
She like will let you go. Motherfucker, better not have. Player turn. What are you guys doing?
I'll let you guys
Sorry.
go.
I'm sorry. It's too fun. Nord, what are you doing?
Nord, I am starting a chant. I'm starting this chanting. I'm gonna start drawing these little runes with the staff. La profundo devas dormine. Everybody, la profundo devas dormi. La profundo. Everyone, la profundo.
La Profundo. Everybody gotta say it.
Devas
Eva.
Estas dormi.
dormi.
That's
The
totally
bound realms. You are the children of stars. You will
The
become
round
the
realms
lizard
rush.
people of eternal life. I have been to the gloaming, and I'm going to bid smoke and mirrors to activate my staff.
Okay, so you can bid smoke and mirrors. However, if you do that, because smoke and mirrors is fake, it's an illusion.
Oh, it is an illusion, isn't it? Oh, then I'm going to bid. Fuck. That's a good
You
question.
could bid the staff.
Yeah, I could bid the staff. Oh, I
True.
have to activate the staff. Can I bid the staff to activate the staff?
No,
Okay.
you got to bid for the action.
Oh, I've got it. I will bid the gleaming the cube. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give every moment of my nature, and I believe that drawing the circles of protection that Gabby did are gonna make a difference. They're gonna at the very least get these guys to start chanting and maybe wake up, and maybe not wake up, but at least harm whatever ceremony that's happening wherever.
I'm gonna make this hard on you.
Good.
Okay. Roll a d6 with detriment. That means you roll it twice, you take the worst.
All right, I got you. Got a good and a bad. I should roll with 2 good dice instead of a good and a bad dice, shouldn't I? I got a 5 and a 3.
Okay, you take the 3.
Right.
As there's no mishap, Nord, as you're holding the staff, with magical instruments of magicka, you have to tame them.
Right.
Okay? It's fighting against you.
Sure.
Not in a bad way, it's just you have to tame it. As that's the reason that this is rolled at detriment. Okay?
Got it.
As it thrums against you, as you force your will into it, and it goes in line. What's the bid?
Gleaming the cube. I'm giving it my all. I'm putting my soul
Giving
into
it your
this.
all. As you do this, and you say to start chanting, you start
La
scribing these
profundo
runes
stormy.
over top of the runes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the runes that are on this bald hill, like I described, they're not permanent, but
Sure.
they a lot of care has been taken in, to put into them. They've been crafted of stuff that can't just be like thrown dirt on.
Sure.
Like you can't just wash them away. As you're drawing in the dirt over top of them, you will know, despite writing over top of them, they still have essence until they're destroyed, or until the person that created them
And then
is destroyed.
oh wow.
As you start writing, it does start counteracting, and some of the people of the 20, Nord, who do you want to roll a d20?
What is a D20?
I know. We're gonna roll a d20.
Can I, with all this that's going on,
Hulker.
can I hear what he's chanting?
Can you?
I'm going to bid calm,
Then yes.
and as my player action, I want to start, and I'll look at Mariah and I'll look at Tony and I go, start chanting as well. And I will start the chant. Although I'm staying hidden, I'm starting the chant as well. So more people in the group hear other people doing it.
You guys gonna bid Mariah?
Yeah, I'll bid
Yeah,
Mariah
sure.
to do that.
Okay. And what about you, Tony?
First of all, I rolled for the D20 that you asked me to roll.
Whoa! Don't tell me yet. Don't tell
Not
me
yet?
'Cause this may affect it.
Yeah, it may affect it.
Okay. Well, I am going to.
I mean, Leah could hear this. She could even be involved in.
Oh no. Leah's focused on what she's doing.
She's Ready Player One. I understand.
Yeah.
Tony, what are you doing?
I'm going to pick up a rock and be ready to throw it at the cultists.
So you're not chanting along?
Yeah, I'll chant along.
Okay. So that's a bid. What do you bid?
I will bid priest.
All right. You two are aiding Nord. So what aspect die are you giving him? It is the player turn. So remember, whatever die you give him, you don't have anymore until the next turn, which is soon.
I'm gonna do wits.
What is that?
Oh, it's D8.
Okay. Nord, you get a D8.
Nice.
I'm going to
Tony?
give him grace, which is a D8.
Okay. And Mariah, Leah, what would Mariah give?
She would probably give her grace.
Okay, she's pretty lithe, so she's got a D10.
Ooh.
Dang.
And she actually went up when it comes to her brawn. She's at a D4 now. Okay, so Nord, you have those banked.
Good.
As people are starting to. Now, let's see how many people chant with you. Holger, what was the D20?
It was a 1.
Oh, can I spend a proficiency?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll spend a proficiency to have that re-rolled. We'll call it a fabrication proficiency.
So the one again.
That's another 1.
Oh no.
That's another 1. That's a 1.
Well,
All
I'm
right,
gonna.
all right. Hold up. Double ones, it's 1 in 400. Okay. So Nord,
Okay.
because it's a 1 in 400 chance. That's going to give you a narrative control over this scene. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Over this moment. Now it's got to be negative,
Yeah.
but you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do proficiency, roll again. It's still going to have an underlying negativity, but you get to decide what it is.
It's fine if it's negative.
Now, double ones is an utter failure. It's 1-1. You know, one dude's like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Can I use
Yeah.
when plans go awry?
Yes. Okay. Roll it again.
Which it takes an utter failure and turns it into
A normal failure.
no, it turns it. Well, I have +2 to it, so it gives 2 successes to it. But the idea of it takes an utter failure and
Makes it limbo.
makes it
It makes it limbo.
limbo if that's
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Are you going to do any proficiencies?
Well, I'd love to do proficiencies for
Go for it.
his role.
Yeah.
Um,
So spend one. I think you already rolled.
yeah.
What'd you get?
I got a 10.
I was going to say, if it's a 1.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay.
10.
10's great. 10's great. 10, that's half.
Yeah.
Okay. Half of these people start chanting with you, but it's half-hearted.
Yeah.
They are drunk. They don't really know you're there. Nord, you've been in parties like this.
Yeah.
You see that there's a little bit of chaos. They're going to continue doing their thing because you realize they like the bloodlust. They like whatever they're doing. They really don't know what they're doing though. Now, I'll give you this, Nord.
Yeah.
These people are irredeemable.
I understand that.
These are the kinds of people that even if you explained to them that the world was going to hell, they'd still do it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get something.
Yeah.
Okay? Even if it's fleeting, they're not rational people. Okay? But you get to decide something about this narration. As about 10 of them, they are following you, and the magic does work. As you're writing the runes and you see it kind of light up with your luminescent soul pouring into the staff, you feel the danger of this. You feel how bright you are. You are exposed. People see you, but there's power as these people join the chorus, as you feel even other people joining the chorus. Describe the scene, Nord.
It's like Gandalf's moment when he's riding into the down on the prairie, and the Nazgul is coming in, and he's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and that light is like piercing out of the staff, and hopefully it is causing a distraction. Which is the aspect of glimmering that I'm
as
using.
You see these 10 steadfast cultists just go away from the light of your staff as they fall back.
They engage me though. They don't believe me. They know deep in the soul that they are right no matter what. That's fine. But they have to engage me. They're focused, and I just triggered them.
That's right. You just posted on Twitter as they fall back. They fall back, rolling as the 10 are sitting there. Sanity roll. And this is what it is. You see, Nord, 10 followers. They would follow you, these wretches. They would follow you. Do you give in to the cult of personality?
Oh, wow.
Roll sanity.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to use this die.
And man, this staff is full of power.
Yeah, it is power. So it's
in your soul.
It's very corruptive.
As it's just thrumming in your hand.
Well, I rolled one success. I guess I should probably roll more.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna spend another fish. Can sanity be multiple? Could I add dice to the sanity?
Of course, just a roll.
Right.
Yep, it's like every other roll.
All right, I'm gonna add some of the dice that I was given to my sanity roll.
Absolutely, it's still the same turn, so you still have that aid.
Okay.
Unless a player literally goes against it,
okay.
And then they have to bid.
Well, I'm rolling shit on the D10s.
They got one proficiencies so work with everything.
I know, but I mean, I've used like 3 proficiencies so far. I'm having a Simon moment.
Dice night. Yep.
I got
it's
2.
True, Simon. You roll so many dice. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I got 2 so far. And can I use my ninja gear and my another ability?
Just like everything else.
I am going to. Can I make a potion?
No.
No, it's not a potion thing. I'm going to use my coat of many colors. It has an attribute called smelly, and I'm going to use my vagabond ability to activate my cult of many coat
So you
of many
smell
colors.
your own musk, and that gives
So
you.
Like
gives you
I know
confidence.
I'm from the dirt. I know that's where I am.
Okay.
I live in my
All
van.
right.
I am not special. I'm
I
just
love
a
it.
person.
I love it. I love it.
That is 3 successes.
All right. Anything else?
And I think that's just about. And I'm gonna spend one more ability. Can I do one more ability?
If you can do up to 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Everyone is a little gay. Is the trait I want to bid, because, I know even the 10 that don't follow me at all. At least some of them are a little gay.
Yeah.
To activate.
So they have reason. Is that what we're going here?
And maybe that's why half of them like started following me, is because it's like, oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
He's got
Sure.
some muskiness. To activate my my scent of colors. I want to feel where they're feeling. I want to know what's going on and see what there is for the runic circles to actually start working in our favor. If there is,
It's all about the sanity roll.
Yeah.
So how many successes total?
That is 5.
Okay. This is the bottom of the player turn. Nord, as you see this thrumming staff, as you realize it's like all these people are into every
6.
counterculture. This is the 80s. I'm sorry?
I got 6 because I get 1 because I'm luminous.
Yeah, boom, 6. As you see 10 of them turning towards you on their knees. Adoration. They would follow you. At least in the moment. Will they come to their senses later? Who knows? The other 10 fall on their asses from the light. As Tony and Simon, and Mariah, you guys are chanting. And you see this light disseminate. Something has happened. Nord. Power corrupts, absolutely. This is something you know. It's something you feel. It's very easy. Words are wind. It's very easy to have morals until you have the decision. The threshold is 7.
Oh, shit.
Power of this sort corrupts real easy. Almost impossible to defend against, as you don't utterly fail. And I can't tell you what Nord feels, but I can tell you that Nord is corruptible. As there's that moment, you gain no derangement, you gain no flaws, you got enough. But there's that moment that Nord realizes even he is corruptible.
These guys will read my articles forever.
Forever.
Ever and ever. Yeah,
All
but
right.
he's a loner.
We will take a 5-minute break,
Dang.
refresh your drinks, use the bathroom, etc., etc. We're going to pop back into Leah and figuring out what she's doing, as well as Simon and Tony. See what they're doing. We're going to move on. We've got a couple scenes to do in this game, so be prepared. Don't leave early, lest you face the wrath. And yeah, want to lead us out, mister?
So we've been playing DreadLore, the Red Writ. It's a role-playing game. The DreadLore is the core book that we use to play the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
every week, Monday nights, 7 o'clock, we do this Twitch stream, maybe 7:30, with our cast: Bill Bunkum, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Daniel Hulker, Drizzle, and Ken Howl. Score by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt, as well as please join our Patreon with and be a member like Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline. And you can find us at patreon.com. That's patreon.com/DreadLore, as well as thanks to Couchfire Media for the art media production and all the other shit you see. That is Trois Replay Productions, and they still do it. So thanks a bunch to all you folks for sticking around, and we'll be back.